Oh, you guys are in for a great episode because guess what? It's just Andy and I, the dream team. We love having guests on, but sometimes, we have existential crises and we say, what are we even doing here? Let's go talk about it on a live stream. It's
I
a
don't
great way
like
to
how we
start
have
your
the bigger
Friday.
windows. You can see my Star Wars tee and my Big Lebowski sweater. Got
Hey,
no
I love
pants
that
on.
sweater. Okay, well, just don't stand up. I think, might be a little much for the people on LinkedIn this morning.
Oh my God. It's
Oh,
crazy.
so your Friday's already been busy. You were emailing me at like 7 a.m.
Yeah. I've been getting up early. I would say it's from the time zone change, but that doesn't make any sense.
It
But
doesn't.
back in
Yeah.
Colorado, I've been in the Northwest for 6 weeks. So it's crazy to be back and a billion meetings. Everybody wants to get together and talk about the future, including business matchmaking. Go figure.
I know. And we had a really cool opportunity this week. We got to present Foundress to a whole room of entrepreneurs at a group called 1 Million Cups, which was just a open forum to talk about what we're up to, what our plans are. And, I think I was getting some feels. The people were really liking what we were putting out.
Abby was presenting at this thing and I wasn't supposed to be there. And so I came and filmed her and
Yeah.
she crushed it, of course.
Oh, well,
But
thank you.
it was pretty fascinating. I have such a hard time at those during the Q&As though, because I want to answer every single question. It's it's intense. So what did you think
Right.
from the first public presentation? Obviously, we've recruited a lot of people into our service. Thank you
Yeah.
to all of you out there that have signed up for training. It's popping off.
Hmm.
But this was Abby's first. We both got on some podcasts. We've obviously made our live stream, but this was the first like PowerPoint in front of community. How did you feel about how people connected to our vision?
I felt really good about it. I personally, I hate PowerPoints. Literally making one for that, I was like, when was the last time I even did one of these? I feel like it was like college for some presentation. But it's a good skill to have, good skill. I feel like our idea is so mapped out much more than a lot of the other ideas sometimes that you see entrepreneurs have in those groups where, or people need a lot of investment or there's so much like overhead cost. Whereas for us, it's just kind of the human cost of our time of finding the matches and doing all of that. And I think people really saw the value. I mean, we saw it after our presentation. Everyone was like, hey, business card, let me get a piece of you. I have a question. So I think, with me and Andy, I would probably think for you too, like after we do something like that, I feel super energized and excited that other people actually get what we're doing.
Somebody just signed up while you were talking.
Love
It's
it. Yay.
it's really interesting because we started this business because we have combined bandwidth to a pretty big community. Abby obviously
Yeah.
is a matchmaker, but equally as much, just to be honest, I hate networking. And going to networking events is not my strength. And so going to pretty much a networking event in order to present our idea was fun to be a fly on the wall or a dude in the back with the iPhone,
Yep.
because Abby connects so well with these people, and not these people. Abby connects so well with the community. I love them too, but it was fun to talk to a whole room with 50 business owners in it and get the feedback. And one of the things that we've been talking about a lot that we haven't gotten to say publicly is when people make the investment to go to an in-person event or even a virtual one, there's typically not a guarantee that they are going to meet the kind of people they want. That's why we started business matchmaking. And you
Mhm.
go to a room, you spend an hour or two there, including the commute and whatever, and you're immediately tabulating in your head the amount your time is worth, the away from your loved ones at dinner or breakfast or whatever. And then, did I come away with any sales? People go to networking events to find clients, to find sales. And it's very difficult because you don't get to hire people you want. And so hiring a business matchmaker
Mhm.
is akin to having a publicist or a business manager, someone reaching out on your behalf. That does two things. It allows you to access bigger people because you don't want to reach out on your own. Or if there's a lot of no's, you don't want to deal with all of that rejection before you get a yes. But
Right.
also, it is just having somebody that is out there looking for exactly what you want. And so, one of the things we've been trying hard to communicate is that you're not signing up to have us be your sales team. As much as we'd love to send you referrals, we are really
And we
creating an
might.
yeah, we are really creating an opportunity to have find referral partners and collaborators for you. And Abby, that's one of the things I took away from your presentation is the biggest thing that we've been driving home to all the folks that interview with us to apply to be part of our service are
Mhm.
expanders. Who is a person that is a catalyst for you? Is it the director of a local chamber of commerce? Is it a trade show producer? Is it an association of some kind? Is it an influencer? Is it a podcaster? If I could introduce you to somebody that could get you 50 referrals for your business or elevate your experience, your team, whatever it is, a lot of people have like gone into a second silence when I ask that question. And it's very weird that people don't
Yeah,
think about who could elevate your cause
right.
because people are so hungry to think, is anyone in this room going to cut me a check, whether they're a good fit or not? They don't think about who is your ideal person to meet. And I'm fascinated
Right.
by that.
And it really kind of comes back to, romantic matchmaking in a way too. It's like, okay, if you don't know what you're looking for, I can't help you. I would love to. And I'm happy to help you get to the point where you know what you're looking for. But, when we're also focused on sales and growing your revenues and all of that, which obviously that is a huge portion of our brain power as business owners, and we spend our time on that. But, one of the feedback we got from the presentation was that people want more deeper connections within the community of entrepreneurs and business owners. So this is where it's at. Yes, we want you to have more sales. We don't want you to just come to us and be like, oh, well, now I have a lot of cool friends. I mean, that might be a win too if you're looking for that kind of connection. Because how cool to surround yourself with people who know more than you about what you're up to. I mean, that's always my goal. If I'm the smartest person in the room, then we really have a problem.
Well, and one of the things about in-person networking, which it is so nice to be out meeting people again,
It
but
is, yeah.
we always try really hard not to bully people that are in real estate or investing or insurance. But the thing about networking events is they're typically people that are hyper local to that community. And so people that are networking, trying to connect with local business owners within a 10-mile radius or whatever, are
Yeah,
typically people in those trades that are providing a business service. And it's a weird metaphor, and sometimes it sounds a little bleak, but I often feel alone in a crowded room. I go to a place like that and I don't feel like anybody understands me because they might not be in the same
mhm,
industry, they might not have the same they might have the same goals or background, or I'm just a little eccentric and they're kind of more type A, but it's hard to find people that just really compliment you, whether they are much like you or you and I are fairly opposite. We have similar personalities and we work really well together, but it's our thing is a yin and yang kind of partnership, and
yeah.
that's one of the best selling points to our service is the synergies that Abby and I have and what makes us work. Because I don't know about you, but I talked to 3 or 4 people after your presentation, and all 3 of them were looking for co-founders. And
Right?
you're not going to pick that up at a coffee meetup.
Exactly, like, those conversations don't come up, and I think, the idea of bringing 2 founders together to start something new, or maybe someone has an idea and they need that support, I think that is, like, totally our sweet spot with business matchmaking, but of course, if you already have your own business and you're like, "I just wanna meet cool people that are in the same realm," another thing we talked about was how it can be really lonely. Like, Andy, how you mentioned, you're alone in a crowded room, as an entrepreneur, working from home, doing Zoom calls, you might not feel like you're part of a community. So we're also really trying to create that sense that you're part of something bigger, and that if shit hits the fan and you need someone to call, hopefully there's someone in this community that it could be something not even related to business. Maybe you're going through a divorce or you have to put your dog down. There's someone in this community where you can say, okay, I just need someone to talk to. So that's where those like deeper chips come in. And, I think as entrepreneurs, our lives are our businesses and our businesses are our lives. It's kind of just how it is. So, your personal life is always going to bleed in to how you run your business and how that impacts everything. So, why not have it come together with who you connect with and actually enjoy being around the people who refer you good business?
Every everything I've ever experienced where people were looking for a co-founder, and we obviously do a lot more than that, but that's an interesting use case.
Yeah.
Every website that's ever tried to do this before or tried to promote how to find them, more often than not, it is a marketing idea kind of person. I've got an idea for a crazy new dating app that is the 8 billionth one that is not religion, geography, lifestyle all in one. But they are typically looking for a co-founder that is a technical co-founder. So I've
Yeah.
got an idea for a dating app. I'm a marketing guy, but I don't know how to program an app and money to hire a firm to do design. So I want to bring somebody on for equity that is the nerd side. Now, lately, including yesterday, I met two or three people that were the nerd side and were like, I'm a technical founder. I created a software. It's amazing, but I'm not capable of selling it on my own.
Yeah.
I need the loud person. And it's very interesting because people feel this kind of odd space between what they're looking for. And I've interviewed a couple of people that applied for Foundress that have been like nervous to talk to me on the Zoom. Some people have social anxiety, introversion, some people on, I mean, either side really. But I've seen a lot more technical people that want to find a marketing co-founder versus the idea folks that want to be a visionary and want to find a technical person, which sometimes gets a bad name because it's like you're trying to get free work because you can't afford to hire someone or raise money, so you're trying to seed stage, bring a partner. But a lot of people outgrow a partnership like that because once it's
Mhm.
built and it's rolling, one of you isn't necessary anymore. So it's great to have synergies with relationships that are based on values and goals and not just solving a problem that is immediately in front of you, which is something we've come across. And Abby came up with a match last week for one of our clients, and she works in an industry where it involves a lot of lobbying. It involves a lot of state government, and it's got a future that might be an international trade. And she wanted to meet people in her industry, but she said, you guys could introduce me to people that have supply chain management experience, people that have agriculture experience, people that have uh, lobbying and grant writing experience. And you would not think meeting someone point blank at an event and handing a business card or meeting somebody even through Zoom or through an event, you're only going to talk about their industry. You're not going to talk about somebody in an adjacent industry that has experience in the actual fulfillment points. So some of our matches that we've been making for our clients have been these super complementary things, which thankfully they trust us to bring the best opportunities for their growth. But
Mhm.
we've seen such early success in this, and I'll pat you on the back
Aw,
because
thank you.
we're allowed to. This business is only a couple months old and trial and error, and I think this was super well conceived. We've been talking about it for a couple years, but I am so blown away. I wish we had started this 2 years ago.
I know. I do wonder if we started this, like, during the pandemic, if it would have been received as well. I think we kind of hit it at the right point because I do notice, even in dating, I notice at networking events, there are so many more people just out and about now. So I think everyone is really open to it. I feel like 2023 is this year where people are just open to new things, wanting to, and I'm not talking just singles in terms of matchmaking, but that definitely is a thing. And, I think what did kind of set us up too is that I got to try and fail many times with the social modern matchmaking and figure out all the systems that were best for us to use. So this was almost just kind of like a, copy and paste with a little tweaks here and there of how matchmaking runs. So, it really is kind of fun to put our heads together. And Andy is a matchmaker in his own right too. We'll sit around and be like, "Oh, who can we set up who with this person?" and come up with some great ideas. So that's what we do for business matchmaking. We'll get together. We'll be like, "Okay, Joe Schmo, who does he need to meet?" We could have this person, that person, that person, and then we're also getting feedback after these connections too, which I think will be really helpful as we do more and more. As we are literally only one official month into doing the matchmaking, so, if people are like, hey, you know what? That person didn't exactly align with my values, or maybe they did something weird when we met, or maybe that was like the greatest match ever. We're always tweaking our process because fortunately, there's an actual human behind all of this. And you're not just, even swiping through Bumble Biz or combing through LinkedIn and just saying, do they look friendly in this headshot? I mean, it's hard to tell.
Well, and a lot of the feedback from the presentation yesterday was talking about the price. And our
Mhm,
price is pretty low for our service. It's a flat rate for the year. We designed it this way to really test market our first fiscal year. But people, it's interesting because their thoughts immediately amortize how much am I paying a month? How much am I paying for introduction? How does this compare to other things? And it really does compare to other things unless you've been a part of a referral group before where you are paying a big monthly fee to be a part of something. And it's just like going to that event where you're tallying how many people did I meet? How many are actually going to be worth it? What am I getting out of this? And that's
mhm,
why ours, we might be able to send you dozens of referrals throughout the year or introduce you to tons of people who could get you way more. But it's about the big picture, the scope. But one of the things I wanted to touch on is it's we also have a couple other services. If you're watching this live, we are recording the first week of February. If you're listening to it on the podcast, we try to keep all of our content evergreen. But one of the exciting things is next week is our first virtual speed networking event. So
ooh,
Abby
so
has been
excited.
doing these for some time now, and I would love for you to tell the people on the internet about it. She's been doing dating speed networking events in Denver for years.
Mhm,
And recently in 2022, she started doing speed networking events for people to spend 5 minutes meeting 10 people in a row or something.
mhm,
And it was so successful. It was actually one of the precursors to this business as well.
yeah.
So, Abby, why don't you talk about how our events are going to look and virtual speed networking works?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's really fun. I was even running a speed dating event last night. So my life is full of connecting people. And honestly, in my opinion, and I think Andy would agree, it's such an easy way to just meet a whole bunch of people at once. And hey, if you're really not jiving with someone, 5 minutes, it will go by, I promise. And if you really are enjoying getting to know someone, 5 minutes will be like, oh my God, where'd our time go? And you're going to want to get to know them more. So, in terms of making it virtual, normally we do it in person, but since Foundress, our community is already, almost
Five time
worldwide.
zones,
Yeah, 5 time zones. I think we got Canada in the mix now too.
lots of Canada.
Yeah. So, we're excited to offer it virtually because, most of our businesses can operate outside of a 10-mile radius. That's what we found with almost everyone who has come to us. So, basically, we have this really cool software that we use that will also to get people's contact information after if you connect mutually. So you'll talk to someone for 5 minutes. You'll be in a video chat like this. So bring your best smile and put on a shirt. No pants are necessary. You can be like Andy. And you'll also have prompts. So don't feel like every 5 minutes you're going to say, "Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a matchmaker. I live in Denver." Something interesting for you to talk about so you guys can have a little bit of a deeper conversation. Maybe it's like, what's one of the biggest challenges you faced in your business in 2022? And being able to be vulnerable with someone and then be like, whoa, so I'm not the only one who had trouble last year because the economy was, in turmoil or whatever it might be. So in our software, you'll be able to give feedback, say, hey, I want to connect to this person again. I don't want to connect to them again. That's also fine. And then again, after you get people's contact info, you can reach out to another. And then, just all we ask is keep us in the loop on any good matches that happen. And it's really a quick and easy way to meet a whole bunch of people. So we're doing that February 7th. Again, sorry if you are listening to the podcast later and you missed it, but we will have many more coming up. So make sure you go to our website, foundress.club, and you can check out the latest events on there, or just send one of us a message and we'll let you know when the next one is. And they are free to all of our members of our community. They're free if it's your first time coming. But then after that, they are $12, pretty reasonable. If you do want to join us for a second time, a third time, etc. And by then, you should really just be joining our community. So hit that link below and apply and join us because we would love to have you. So February 7th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Eastern, take a little lunch break, breakfast break, and come join us and meet some new awesome business owners.
And tickets are available on Eventbrite,
Yep.
reiterating that it is very open to the public. You don't have to be part of our community or in our orbit. If we've never met, we look forward to meeting
Yeah.
you. We'll probably both be participating. And we are very excited to offer this in the traditional speed networking events that Abby's done in Denver. When you meet people, you can choose I felt a friend connection. I felt a romantic connection. I felt a business connection. Now, these events are designed for business only, but as she mentioned, you're not going to have people following up and sending you spam. You're meeting folks. And if you felt that you were interested in getting to know them more, maybe as a friend, but if you are
Mhm.
interested in getting to know them more for business and you guys both select that, the mutual matches disseminate out the contact information. So you're not going to have, if,
Exactly.
I mean, all the people are going to be cool, but any mutual matches you have, you will both get each other's contact info. You don't have to go through us. You can carry it on from there. It will tell you. And it's a really fun way to meet some awesome folks in various industries and all kinds of fun things.
Oh, yeah?
Abby, I am like really proud of us. We're allowed to say that on our own live
Thanks.
stream. Episode
Totally.
27 of the live stream, too. What's up?
What? I mean, honestly, I'm, like, blown away. I don't know how we've done this many episodes. That's mean it's been, like, 27 weeks. It's kind of funny because I feel like we started this, like, in the beginning right when I was pregnant, so this is kind of like my countdown. The live stream, I'm like, "Okay, it's been many weeks now."
Yeah, we probably should make the pre-announcement that at some point later this year, you guys are going to have my sparkly voice for several weeks while Abby's on maternity leave.
Right.
But we might have some special guests. We might have some roundtable action. I've been working on some things to make it interesting because I feel like you
I
bring the
love it.
main meat of the
Aw.
live stream.
Well, thank you. You know what? I was even just thinking this morning, I'm like, how am I actually gonna stay away from doing stuff? Like, you might have to just humor me and let me come on the live stream maybe once or twice.
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, you personally, like all of your business and clients and things either happen remotely or within a 20-mile radius of your house. So people are literally going to be driving past you living in central Denver.
Right.
How are you just going to sit there and not reach out the window?
I
But you're
know.
going to be very preoccupied with the little guy,
Yeah.
and it's going to be super exciting. So, big things for our business. Hopefully, big things for all of you guys. We really appreciate you tuning into our live stream and our podcast and consuming all of our media. We've got so many awesome things planned, launching online written content, profiles about our people, blog, newsletter. And on
Oh,
that note, you should
oh,
probably
thank
sign
you.
up to our newsletter because it has weekly links to the live stream, the blog, the podcast, all the aforementioned, and events.
Exactly, and you get a fun little blurb from me that, who knows what kind of mood I'm in when I'm writing that
Abby's a
one.
great blurber. And on that note, she's also got to get to a matchmaking meeting because it's
Oh my
9:29.
god. I know, and
So
at 9:29, we make love happen. At 9 AM, we make business happen. So
all of you guys, we appreciate you. We salute you. Have a wonderful Friday, and we'll talk to you next week.